Coming up, the Grinch and Friends character dining experience. Welcome to the SeeWDW Near and Far podcast, where we explore perspectives of the Walt Disney World Resort from 10 to 1,000 miles away. I am Mike the Far in this occasion. The Far in this equation.
And I'm John, fairly near.
All right, today we are going to talk about that Grinch holiday dining experience, right, John, that you went on. But first, how was your week in the parks?
Well, it's going to be very quick this week. My week in the parks was absolutely nothing. I mostly stayed home the past week. And I can say I was going to go to Universal on Thursday because I'm not blocked out of there right now. But my daughter has been working guest services at Universal. And she gave me a little warning because she knows me very well and she basically said, "Are you sure you want to go? Universal has never had crowds this high at this time of year. And most rides are a couple hour wait." And she said, even with Express, the lines have been going up to like an hour, even with Express. And she knows because there's a lot of people complaining at guest services about it. And when I heard that, I was like, yeah, I guess I won't. It's mostly just going to be driving for me. I'm going to drive there, get through security, be extremely disappointed by huge crowds, and just walk out shaking my head probably. So when it's that crowded, the smartest thing you can do is not go if you don't have to. And I heard the same with Disney, that the crowds are like unbelievably huge right now. So I've decided to just wait till after the new year. There's no reason I have to go. So I did the smart thing and I skipped it.
I don't blame you. I don't know what guest services can do about crowd levels, I mean, you
Not
can't
much.
turn them away. You've got to make the money and
Yeah, there's
the
capacities and stuff, but
yeah.
beyond that, yeah, like there were a lot of complaints. I think she said that Hogsmeade was at capacity at one point,
Okay.
which means you can't. It's just blocked off. You can't go past a certain part,
Mhm.
and it's rare that that happens, but it did happen, and people are mad about that too. And then I think one of the complaints she heard was somebody said that a team member pushed them or something to stop them, but they probably put their arms out because you know how people are. They're like,
Yeah.
"I'm going back," and tried to walk right through. I think they just went like this to stop them, and they went, "Oh, I got pushed. I got pushed." It's like,
Yeah.
but yeah, unfortunately, this is not the time to go. And I was considering in the past, I was thinking, should I up my Disney pass so I can not blocked out at all anymore? The way the crowds have been during the blockout times, I don't think I need to do that.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it before because pre 2020, I feel like I could maneuver any crowd level and stuff. And then with normal fast passes, not only could I maneuver through crowds, I could ride some rides no matter what the crowd level was. So in 2019, I could have went this week, and got a couple of good fast passes, maneuvered through the crowds, at least rode a couple of good rides and got out of there. Right now, there'd be nothing I can do but line after line after line for everything. Just frustration, line, angry people. So I decided it's pretty nice here in Mineola. I'm gonna enjoy the beautiful weather and not go there. But
Well, I do gotta say, after being down there a couple weeks ago, and it wasn't that what I consider peak capacity crowds everywhere. I mean, some rides had long waits. There's a lot of different things going on. Then I wouldn't recommend everyone to go then. But I'm going back. We actually leave to drive down there tomorrow, and I'm coming back down. I'm sort of hoping that after New Year's, which is our first day in the park. Our first day in the park will be on the first, so I know it's going to
Mhm.
be crowded on the first a little bit. Well, maybe not in Animal Kingdom, right? But
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to be there too. So
right. So I don't know what we're going to run into. But as far as that goes, we'll see. Hopefully, it is marathon week, and we're going to run the 5K. I run is a strong way to put that, but we're going to walk the 5K, and we'll see what the crowds are like. My understanding is it's a pretty high crowd week, especially towards the end of the week.
I think compared to now, though, it's not so bad.
Probably,
But
yeah,
yeah, and I was gonna say I ran the marathon last year,
right.
and I'm actually happy that I'm not doing it because whenever I sign up for it, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be great, and then when it comes time to get up at 3 in the morning and run so far in such an uncomfortable time and uncomfortable way, I'm like, I always wonder why in the heck did I just pay like $200 to do this, So,
No.
but I'm sure I'll do it again, maybe next year. It is
Yeah,
for health wise for me. It's a good reason to try to get into shape a little bit. So I do like to
yeah,
do it, but
right. Right. We've got a comment from Christopher just saying, "Hi everyone. Hi Christopher. How you doing?"
well,
So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens next week. Hopefully we'll be able to uh hopefully the crowds will be manageable anyhow. So,
all right. Well, I guess we can dive into this.
all
What
right.
is it called? The Grinch and Friends
The
Character
Grinch
Breakfast.
yeah.
And here is this is the Universal website I have up here, and it is sold out for this entire year. And I can
Mhm.
see it looks like the holiday tour still isn't, which again is why they took the VIP out of that.
Mhm.
But I'm going to refresh that quick and see if that information is correct. But anyway, like I said before, there's only one of these two that I would probably do again, and that is going to be the Grinch and Friends holiday breakfast. The tour I was not so thrilled with. I liked it. It wasn't the greatest. So, but the first thing I wanted to mention, and of course, when you hit refresh, it takes you elsewhere into some. I don't know where it took me. All I said was refresh. But anyway, the Grinch breakfast. The first thing to note is it's $41.99. And in comparison with character breakfast and specialty ones, that's actually really cheap. I don't think there's anything that cheap like at Disney World. So that's a big part of it. When I looked at the holiday tour um, ex- experience, that's about half the price of a Disney holiday party. So it just really wasn't. It wasn't worth that price. But this, I would say it's worth $41.99, and that's even when it didn't quite work out that well for me. So, but anyway, the breakfast was scheduled for 10:30. Um, we arrived at the park at around 10:07. We were getting off the moving walkway, and let's see, we made it to it. The breakfast is at the Circus McGurkus. Um, the Circus McGurkus Cafe Stupendous is the full name. Make sure you write that in the
That's a mouthful.
notes. So Yeah, we got there and we got in line. And honestly, we got there, we waited like 1 minute before they said, before we got to check in and, pretty much went inside. So the wait was not bad, like the like
Mm.
the holiday tour experience. It was going to be almost a 2 hour wait before the first thing even happened. So at least with this, I got to go right in. Now in this, they have Sam, they have the Grinch, they have various characters from Whoville, and they also have lots of food. And let me see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. Let's see. They had chia pudding, which I tried. That was actually pretty good. Assorted fruit, which I tried. That was pretty good. I tried to get through and get a look at this stuff. The breakfast pizza was good. I had some of that. Um, the these are just basically they call it who hash, but it's whatever you call them. I don't even know.
Who hash?
Oh, tater tots. That's what it is.
Okay.
And I also tried some of Betty Lou Who's shakshuka. I didn't like it that much. It just didn't taste breakfasty. I don't know what that is exactly, like what where they get that from. It wasn't terrible, but I definitely would not get that again. And I'm just going through this quick just to give people a little idea. The roast beef was ham, and that was actually really good. It was the kind of ham that is overcooked, so it cuts real easy and kind of just falls apart as you eat it, which I like that myself. So
Mm.
to me, the ham was great. The sausage was also good. Like I really did enjoy that. Then they had regular eggs, but I wanted to mention that they also have green eggs next to it. And the green eggs is the one that I got, and I'm
Right.
not 100% sure what they what they did with it, but it was really good. Like
Mm.
I really enjoyed the green eggs. So again, if I was going back, I would get lots of green eggs, some biscuits, the ham, the sausage, very good. Whatever that shuka stuff is, I probably would skip that one.
Yeah.
Um, they they also have green pancakes.
Mm.
Um, what else did they have? They have waffles and chicken, which I didn't get because I just had it like a couple days before. I didn't like the chicken that they use, and I didn't check this chicken to see if it had any more to it. Now this is a good one. Martha May's baked French toast. That surprised me. It's like French toast, but all thrown in a pan together. That was really good as well. Like I really enjoyed that. And yeah, I'm getting hungry just looking at this now. I
Yeah.
kind of want some green eggs and some Martha May's baked French toast. Like it really was quite good. Then they had some cookies. They had Grinch cookies. They had Max Bone. It was like chocolate covered with all that. So that was pretty cool. Uh, they had a red velvet type cookie at the top. I think they called it a spice cake. I didn't try that. That's my daughter tried this the donuts, which are just powdered standard donuts. she said that they were really, really bad and she couldn't even eat it. She said it didn't taste like a donut, but I wouldn't take her word for it. She's she can be a little picky. So, and here's some more too. Here's green eggs and ham and a heart that's two sizes too small, I guess.
Yeah,
So,
that's pretty cool.
so yeah, they really are fun food items. And all I can say is for $41.99, there was more than enough food for me to enjoy and be completely full and satisfied. And again, I didn't even get to the donut. I didn't try it, but if it wasn't that good, there were other things that were good there. So that is about it for the food. They also have some type of grape juice. I got some coffee and water, and it's like a lime orange something. It's like Grinch juice, and I forget. I'm pretty sure the Grinch was talking about people drinking his urine or something. Like I know that's gross, but I'm pretty sure I heard him saying something like that. So they the Grinches are not necessarily up to Disney standards with the things that they'll say. They're supposed to be the Grinch, so
Uh,
they're not exactly uh, nice about everything. So let's see. That was I want to give you some times here because this is the only place I had some problems. This is 10:38. So we went in, we sat at 10:30, we got our food, our drink order. Then we went and got the food. So it's 10:38. And then at a little, we ate for a little bit. By 10:53, Sam came over. Really cool character. I really did enjoy the interactions with Sam. It's Sam I Am from the Dr. Zeus stuff. Or is he from Green Eggs and Ham? I guess it's the same guy. I don't know. But anyway, it's Sam. So all that is great. Sam's there. It's all fun and games. All of a sudden, I feel on my back. This is me here. I feel like it's almost like a rain, but it's inside. This is at 11:12, so I've been here about 42 minutes so far, and it went on my hair, my hat, my neck. I know it doesn't look terrible here, but my back was fairly wet. There's my daughter laughing at me. It apparently somebody had an entire tray of drinks and dropped it, and I wondered why, though. I'm sitting there getting hit and it just kept coming. I learned later that he dropped it and then he was trying to catch it. So in midair, he was throwing more up into the air to spread it even further. So I didn't turn around because I'm literally just getting hit by this stuff. So I was, that was a little uncomfortable. And it wasn't just water, it was Grinch juice, coffee, water. It was a mix. So I had sticky wetness dripping down the back of my neck and all over my shirt and on my backpack and just basically all over me. And this is where it gets a little bit off-putting. So let's make sure we have the times right. That's at 11:12. So I've been here for 42 minutes so far. So this was at 11:12. The drink got spilled on me. Somebody did come over and they said, sorry about that. And they said they wanted to get me a new shirt. They said, when you're done, come and find me. I'll take you to get a new shirt. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. I like free stuff, but I wasn't going to complain about it. So, but anyway, when you look at the progress of these pictures, it all looks perfectly fine. But here's the thing, not a single Who came to interact with us at our table. Like they were all around, but they didn't go to the middle section. This Who walked past us and made mention of the sign. But again, she didn't visit, didn't do any pictures, anything. but she's the closest we got to interaction. And as you can see, this is the round area in the center where they just put tables around it. Like I think that's like a makeshift spot to get more table seats in or something. So the Who's just weren't going to that.
Hmm.
And and even that is fine. Like I'm not, I wanted to get some pictures with them and stuff. But here's the thing. Here's a picture of me with the Grinch. And 11:51 is when he finally made it over. So 10:30, 11:30. What's that? Another 30 minutes. It was what that's almost an hour and a half, right? Before the Grinch
Yeah.
made it to us. So it was almost noon by the time the Grinch made it to us. And of course the Grinch was great. He always is. Like, he's a very he interacted with me because it was my birthday and he was reading my button. He was using his ESPN to figure out that it was my birthday and my name is John and I'm 23, he said. So, but anyway, the Grinch is great. But I was there for, I think I figured it to be like an hour and 40 minutes or something like that. And within the first like 15 or 20 minutes, I had one character, nothing for an entire hour. I just sat there and I was done eating too. So I'm literally just sitting there and I waited for the Grinch for probably about an hour as I just sat there waiting. But it made it worse too for my wet shirt. So, but what I wanted to say was, I'm sure that this is not the normal experience. When the guy did get me the let's see, there's family picture with the Grinch. When the guy did get me the shirt, he asked how everything went, and I did mention. I said, "Well, we didn't really talk to any, not a single Who stopped by," and he was like, he said that's very unusual. Like that's not. He goes, usually they're great. Like they see people the most, and I was like, yeah, that's okay. I'm sure it's not a big deal. So besides that, the breakfast was really good. And like I said, the food was good. The Grinch was great. That waiting time period, if I would have been seated in another part of there, this breakfast could have been perfect. Like if I would have got seated on one side or the other, I probably would be saying perfect breakfast right through. And so what I want to tell people is chances are if you book this, I'm probably the worst case scenario. 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to have an even better time. So again, next year, I'm pretty sure I will book this again. And I look and because the food was good, the interaction with the Grinch was good, Max was good. I'm sure next time the Who's will be much better. We'll probably be in a better spot for them. So, like I said, I look forward to it. Looks like I don't have a picture of it, but they ended up taking me to a store close by, and I got a Grinch shirt for free. Like the manager, whoever took it up to the front, and they signed it out. And again, I didn't ask for that, but I don't mind a free shirt, so I decided I would take that. And the rest of this goes into the rainy day that we already talked about last week. That was my birthday Grinch. And yeah, this may end up being our shortest show ever, which could
I
be a
know,
good thing
right?
because the more percentage people watch, the better. So shorter
Yeah,
maybe.
I guess. um, so the Grinch thing, I mean, other than the amount of time it took you um, to meet, some of the characters and everything, what about the food? I mean, was the food you went through and all that, but overall, would you say it was worth the cost just on the food alone, or?
I think it's worth the cost, but only when you compare it to Disney World. I mean,
Okay.
obviously, you can go to Cracker Barrel or something and get good food for a third of the cost with no characters or anything. But I enjoyed the food, and like I said, I can't help but compare it to Disney character breakfast and such. So in
Right.
that case, I'm used to seeing like the last character breakfast or the last character meal I did was $60 a person,
Yeah.
and it was good. But again, this was only $41 a person, and it had the Grinch, which is a little bit more special than most.
Yeah, he's star of the show, right?
There's only so often you can see the Grinch, and during this season, that's the time you're going to meet him for breakfast and stuff. Although it wouldn't surprise me if eventually uh, oops, it wouldn't surprise me if eventually they start bringing him out more because it's just so popular. But I can tell you one word of warning: if the Grinch calls out, there won't be any Grinch there. It'll be Max and some Who's. It can happen. I guess it's rare, but it can happen. And I know because, like I said, my daughter's working customer service right now. So when the Grinch calls out, the customer service window is quite busy with complaints about people that paid for the Grinch and Friends breakfast, and there's no Grinch today. It's like, but it's such a specialized thing. If he calls out, there's only so much he can do. I don't think those Grinches are run ragged. Like they're there in the morning, they're there late at night, they're doing so much stuff, and I don't think there's enough people that can play the Grinch to really have a lot of coverage. So occasionally the Grinch doesn't show up. So I guess I'm lucky I got it at all. I could have been there on a no Grinch day. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, it takes a certain look to pull that off, let's face it. And the other thing is, it's got to be tough because you got to wear makeup the entire time.
uh, I think the toughest part is you have to be completely amped up the whole time. Like he's
Yeah.
yelling, he's animated, he's getting in your face, and everybody expects him to be funny too. Everybody. It's like even when he came to me, I had my camera up as he's coming towards me, and he's probably thinking, "Oh, another one of these idiots. I got to dance for him and make it." But he did good though. He walked right up, he put his face right up, and he's like, "Oh, oh," like made a scene about it. So again, they do a great job. So I'm, I am, I definitely won't complain. And again, it took an hour for the Grinch to get to me.
Mm,
That's probably because he was doing an hour of entertaining people, probably more than he's even supposed to. you
yeah.
know, I put my hand around the Grinch when he finally got there, and he was wet. That's probably sweating right through the Grinch costume too. Like
Yeah.
that is such a workout to be the Grinch. Um, it's a physical workout and a mental workout to try to be that on for hours and hours. And who knows? Maybe he got up and he's having a bad day. Got to be the Grinch. It's time to be the Grinch. Whatever's going on. So
Maybe
can't be
maybe
easy.
he got drinks spilled on him too. So
I told him about it. He said, "How's it going?" I said, "It was good, except for the drinks that got spilled on me." And he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't spill them on you first, or something like along those lines." He said, "Next time, I'll spill them on you myself, or something." So
that's
again,
great.
it's nice to not be at Disney. You get a good answer. He certainly wasn't going to apologize for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
to the
cool.
Grinch, that's probably a bonus. You had drinks spilled on you. That's a
Yeah.
good thing. So.
Well, it sounds like it was a good time anyhow. So
No, it was. And again, I plan on booking another Grinch breakfast next year. They sell out quick, so I'm going to get it as soon as I can. And I don't plan on booking another holiday tour next year. So
mm, yeah.
between the two, now coming up in February, I booked a Mardi Gras package where I eat at a certain restaurant. I think I picked whatever the Irish pub is in Universal. I always forget the name of it. It's an Irish name, everybody said that that's a very good place to eat. I never get around to eating there, so I booked that. But then I get to throw beads from a float, and you can do that without paying anything, but it's so competitive that I never get around to doing it, and I've never done it in all the years I lived here. So I decided I'm going to eat somewhere I always wanted to eat, and I get to throw out some beads afterwards. So I'm excited that that's coming up in a couple months, or probably
The Irish, I was going to say the Irish pub is Finnegan's. I was
Finnegan's.
going to
Yeah,
say that, but then I just looked it up just to make sure.
I didn't want to say the wrong name.
I
Every
didn't
Irish
either,
name
but
in the world's going to pop into my
I
head.
know,
So
right?
I'm sure I'll say the wrong one. So I didn't want to just. But yeah, Finnegan's. I always hear they have great food at
Yeah.
Finnegan's, and I never got around to eating there. So I like I said, I look forward to that. I'm hoping that is a definite do it again one too. But
Mhm.
like I said, I'm happy though. I had one, and again, the one from last week, the tour. It's not terrible, but I just don't really see it. It didn't have the enough value to justify $70 some for it. So,
Right.
but the breakfast between the food and the Grinch, it was worth it. So,
Mm. Yeah.
so yeah, I guess that's about it for that one.
All right. Our friend Christopher here wondered if you had any video or photos of the Spectro Magic Parade. I thought you had a video in the archives there somewhere on
I was
YouTube,
gonna
right?
say, if you look on our channel, on this channel you're watching right now, it's probably a long time ago at this point, but I should have the pretty much the full Spectra Magic Parade should be there from probably like 2005, maybe
Mm.
something like that.
Hmm.
So yeah, I've got a few old videos in there, which include, they're not they weren't done with YouTube in mind. Like you'll see that I probably keep panning down, looking at my daughter in the stroller, and then back to the show and stuff. So I wasn't taping at that point. There was no social media, so I was just recording. But I'm pretty sure I have that, and I've got some push the trash can stuff somewhere too. I don't remember where I have it, but again, when my daughter was younger, she would interact with the trash can
Hmm.
and Tomorrowland. And I also had a video of her interacting with, I forget the name of it. There was a recycling can at Rafiki's Planet Watch at Animal Kingdom, which would also interact with you. I forget, it's Push's cousin, something to do with recycling. I
Mm.
don't remember.
Well, I want to tell you, I don't know if you have noticed this, but in at the at Epcot, what is the where Santa Claus was here, that where the Epcot experience was? What do they call that in there?
The Odyssey, or
Okay, so in the Odyssey building, I went in there this past trip a couple weeks ago, and right at the entrance where Santa Claus was, they had those little counter service restaurants there. And then
Mhm.
right across from it where the Epcot experience was, Santa Claus was in there kind of on with a sleigh and getting pictures and all that. But they had stand up tables and some sit down tables. And right inside the door was one of those garbage cans where when you threw away your stuff, it talked to you and said different things. It wasn't mobile or anything like Push was, but it's if you threw something out, it would
Yeah,
make different
I
comments and
I
stuff.
heard that that's been there a long time, from what I understand, but I don't think I've ever seen it. But I could swear that I've heard that in the past about that garbage can in the Odyssey that
Yeah,
will say stuff when you throw things away. Like it gives you a little message. But yeah, I do. I remember hearing about it, but I don't know if I ever experienced that one. I could
yeah.
swear the one at the Imagination Pavilion talked to me already, like in the back. But
It might have been the same one. I don't know. They just put it in different places. It just reminded me of old Epcot, though. Like
yeah,
old school Epcot, and I really was impressed by that. You never saw the timekeeper whenever
yeah.
he was
The
up, right?
the closest that I got was I went to a Halloween party and they were handing out candy in the Timekeeper Theater, and I got to
Hmm.
walk right up in front of the robot, and I was taking pictures of him. I've seen it on YouTube and stuff, but yeah, when I went, the timekeeper it was probably seasonal at that point, meaning they were just never were going to bring it back. So,
Yeah, unfortunately, like I went during the timekeeper era, but I just I never took video of that back then,
oh
so I
yeah.
just don't have anything captured. But I used to love the timekeeper. That was a great show. I really
Yeah,
liked it.
the problem with video too is I look back at my videos now, even from like 5 years ago, and they look like they're from the 60s or something. Like
Yeah,
the video technology goes so quick that it's just, it's unbelievable how advanced things get. And it makes things look really bad because even in 2017, I was recording the Great Movie Ride, and that's not long ago.
right.
And there's no stabilization in it. So the whole video is going, it's just moving all over. And I'm sitting there watching it and I'm like, why don't you stop moving? Like, what is wrong with you? But I think it's the stabilization just wasn't there. It's, you could feel every movement. So,
Yeah, technology's really come a long way, that's for sure. Even simple stuff like on your phone, anything. So stabilization is so built in nowadays. Yeah, all right, John. So that was that experience. How did your social media go this week?
well, I'll try to keep it brief. TikTok is slowly going down, which I think is for everybody. And when I say slow, I mean you can see the followers dropping really slowly. And again, I really don't care. I brought up Universal on the screen because that hit 112,000 followers.
Uh,
And I know I say it a lot, but it's starting to feel like a real account. Maybe someday somebody will offer me you know, money to collab with them or something. I don't know. Probably not. But it feels like it's getting real. And I was going to say my biggest video, and again, here's a little secret for everybody. 1.7 million views,
mm.
and here's the whole video. It's simply that's it. It's literally, I didn't add music. I didn't do anything. This is, and what we're looking at is Dudley Do Right's Ripsaw Falls. Just people driving by in a splash. So again, 1.7 million views at this point. And I would love to tell you this is the first time it's ever happened. It's not. I've posted similar videos to this countless times and gotten the millions of views. And as you can tell, it really deserves it. Look at the cinematic quality, all the editing, the time I put into this,
You
which was
caused that
absolutely
splash
nothing.
just perfectly. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, but again, that gets nothing. I paid a couple $100 to go to the Grinch breakfast, and this gets like a couple thousand views. It's like, yeah, it's just and things just don't make sense with Instagram and Facebook. And I like to point that out once in a while because when your videos don't do good, don't blame yourself necessarily. Because again, everybody who's ever been to Universal could have taken this 1.7 million view video. Anybody, and many of them have. So I it's not. It's
I'm
not
gonna
talent.
I'm gonna record that whenever I get down there. I'm
Better
gonna try
not.
and
That's
remember
fine.
that. I'm gonna try and remember that. I'm gonna
That's fine.
go. I'm gonna look for the John space. It'll say the CUO space here, owned by
Well,
John,
it's
and
not even
I'm.
that angle though, too. I've already done it from the bridge, from anywhere, and gotten millions of views. And look at this, 380,000 is what I got, but for actually riding it. So this is a much more difficult video to get
Yeah,
because you need to get the,
they,
the front seat is very tight, meaning there's very little leg room up there. They told me you can try it, but we don't even know if you're going to fit in the front seat. They usually
plus they're
put a
gonna
kid up
yell
there.
at you, right? They're gonna
Oh yeah,
yell
you
at
got
you
to
for
be
doing.
sneaky. I had to pull that out. by the time it gets to this point,
It's too
they
late.
can yell all they want. No one's going to hear them. So
They're going to stop you halfway down the hill.
that'd be awesome. That'd be the best video ever.
It would be.
But anyway, that video that I had to get soaking wet, break rules, get in the front seat, that gets a fraction of what just standing over there going, hey, look, a 4-second video of the thing going by. That's the one that gets it. Yeah, here's one that I had to buy special glasses for to be able to get it and stuff. Like I literally had to buy glasses to be able to do that. And again, it gets a fraction of what the one where you're just standing there going, I don't know.
Yeah.
Click.
Yeah. Wow.
So that is, unfortunately, that's the way that it works. Yeah, and here's one too that, got like 50,000 views. In the past, I've done ones from here that got millions of views too. And again, I don't know. In my next bonus period, which is in a few days, I'll probably do another one like this. It could be a 1 million view one, or could not. I don't know. It depends if how Instagram algorithm feels like doing it that day. This one too is at 886,000, and this is an old video from back in 2020 when it first reopened. See all these people here? That's my wife, my daughter, my neighbors, their son, my daughter up front. Like it's all, I know all these people. It's like, so this whole train is people I know because it was 2020 and nobody was there. We rode the train ourselves. So, but anyway, that's up to 880 some thousand views too, which is freaking great. But again, you might if I did a newer video like this, somehow it doesn't quite do as good. But again, with this account, I just keep throwing up similar videos and getting similar results. When I take time and edit something, come up with a good idea, make an awesome video, good transitions, add the perfect music, it's going to be the worst performing video you ever saw. It's going to be terrible. So again, I don't know. Don't try too hard. It doesn't work for most people. For some people it does. There's some people who do a great job, but for me, the harder I try, the more I'm made a fool of for trying so hard.
I still think it's good quality though. And I think you're going to do it regardless because of the quality, that your own personal quality.
Yeah, but like I said, I follow a lot of people that are much smaller accounts than mine, and I can tell you that I've seen much better stuff than mine that just gets ignored. So again, it's not fair, but I've been doing it a while, so the algorithm thinks better of me, and because I've been consistently posting videos, so. I've been consistently posting videos for about 5 years. I think that makes it like me, It's like it gives me a little boost up. And so again, you could make the best video in the world and it'll get like 200 views. I can make a crappy one and get 200,000 because I've been posting for 5 years, so the algorithm lets my stuff get seen a little bit better. But it's still extremely controlled now. And I know we talked about this last week.
Yeah.
But I'm going to show you again just to see if you can see that there. There it is. All those flat lines at the top.
Mm-hmm.
That is an unnatural flat line. Anytime the bottom chart is my followers, and that goes up and down. There's no flat lines there. The top one is people that don't follow me. And when it hits 141,000, it stops dead every time. And all those times where you see it hitting the top, that's at the start of my bonus period where I'm really trying. I'm trying to put my best videos out. and it hits the ceiling at 141 every time. 141, 141. I'm not allowed to get more than that in a day. So my followers, it's a natural up and down. Some videos are better than others, whatever. But that flat line at the top is who Instagram lets see my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 1.4 million accounts in the last 30 days on my Disney account here. My Universal's 5.1 million.
Mm.
And honestly, I do better work on my Disney account. I can guarantee you that. I have better footage, better videos, more variety, better quality. I do it more often. I go live. I mix it up. I do more stories. And for whatever reason, Instagram says we don't like this account. It's only going to do this much. If it goes, and like I said, that that chart confirms to me that the harder I try, it's gonna. I've already had videos that I know are good, and I put them out, and I'm like, they get like 10,000 views in an hour. It's going like this. It's like, holy crap, this is a good one. Well, 141,000. When I hit that for the day, it just stops. It's like, it's done. Too bad. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's done. So again, for some reason, Instagram will not allow me to surpass that. So just remember too, if you're not doing well, Instagram decides how well you're going to do. In most cases, it's literally, literally they're going to decide. So again, thank goodness I have 2 accounts. I might have to just start another new Disney one, and who knows? A couple of years, I'll surpass the old one. It'll still be stuck at 141, never allowed to go by, and maybe I'll go right past it. I'll make up a new persona,
Well, make up a new persona and like just, kind of change some things about what you say about yourself in that account, and see if they give you some kind of advantage based on, something.
I'll pretend I'm my daughter. I'm a 25-year-old blonde girl. So we'll see if they like that.
That might work on TikTok better than it does Instagram. So.
Yeah, they got enough of that on Instagram, probably.
Well, so how was your TikTok? How did your TikTok go?
It's been slowly dying.
Yeah,
I don't really try that hard on it anymore. Once it started going down instead of up, I post some stuff on it, but yeah, all 1,800, 4,000, 7,000, 1,300, 1,100. It's pretty not great, and I don't know what the exact number is, but when I looked at my followers online, I was at 76.4 and then 3. I think I'm at like 260, so it was slowly just going down.
Mm-hmm.
So I hear that with a lot of people, though. A lot of people that said, that were making a living on TikTok are like abandoning it. They're like, this was a mistake. It's not, it's too easy to get knocked off of it and stuff, like I followed a guy who did like true crime stuff, and all of a sudden they started harassing every video he did. They threatened to delete his whole account with all the videos, and he shared all this stuff because he went to YouTube now, and it's not a political thing. It's not they're not, like, you hear a lot of stories about them doing stuff like that if you're like a conservative or something. That this guy is he's gay, number one, absolutely the opposite of a conservative in every way. I mean, his hair was blue for a while. He's not anything like that, but TikTok just harassed the crap out of him, and he had to leave. And it's like he was doing great on TikTok. He basically, that's his full-time job, was doing TikTok videos. And he was just, I follow him on YouTube now, and I just saw a short from him that shows the messages he's getting from TikTok about how they're going to delete his account, and if he gets one more he's not even posting to it anymore. It's still just, it's like collapsing on them. So again,
Interesting.
so yeah, I guess TikTok is not the place to build a long term
I
anything in.
I guess at
I
this
I'll
point.
still post some stuff there, but I don't know at this point. I'm not really getting any. I shouldn't say I'm getting extremely slow growth on uh, YouTube. So, like I said, I've got shorts scheduled right up into February. So I'm just trying to make sure that I post something at least once every day, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But again, there's nothing really doing much for that. So I don't. I'm hoping that at some point, I've heard from other people that every once in a while, if you ever get a short that they push, it can really make a big difference. It get you thousands of followers in one thing. So we'll see if it ever happens to me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not. I definitely don't deserve to be seen. I know that.
I I maybe post what that water ride at Universal again, and
I don't
you
think
know.
it doesn't work on TikTok for some reason. I've tried it, but I
I
mean,
was gonna say just
it doesn't
post it
work.
every day. Every day, post the same video of that and see what happens.
Yeah, I'll probably have 100 million followers and just I'll be rich. That's all I do is post it. I could post it from every angle, night,
Yeah,
day, up,
that's right.
down, side,
Absolutely.
straight. That's all I do. I'll
That's
call it the account is the Dudley Do Right Water
Dudley
Ride
Do
account. It
Right. The
never
Dudley
stops.
Do Right account.
I should do that. I'll make up an account, Dudley Do Right.
Probably, you never know. So, all right, John, where can they find you online?
You can find me at C.WDW on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, CWDW on YouTube, C.UO on Instagram and Facebook.
All right, and you can find me at the Giant Rat, THEE Giant Rat, on Instagram and on TikTok. And that should do it for this week. We will see you on the next one.